everybody. Mr. V. Suresh is a civil engineer from Anna University with experience of 57 years in housing, urban development, and rural development. He's the former CMD of HUDCO. He's a member of the expert group of EIA, Large Infrastructure Projects of the Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change. He's member of Advisory Council for Rebuild Kerala and member of Tamil Nadu Government Committee on Housing and Township Policy. He's past president of CII, National Green Building Council, IGBC, president of Focus, chairman of BIS Housing and Planning Committee, vice chairman of National Building Code of India, and chairman of BIS Small Cities Committee. He has received more than 18 awards, and amongst them is the CIDC Industry Doyen Award 2011, IBC Lifetime Achievement Award 2014, CIA World Lifetime Achievement Award 2017, and ACCE Gaurav Award. He is president of Good Governance India Foundation for Good Urban Governance initiatives for meeting the challenges of urbanization and making smart, green, sustainable, and vibrant cities through work of Municipalika. Thank you, Mr. Suresh, for taking the time to talk to us today, and I look forward to an engaging conversation with you.
What a pleasure to come with you. I'm so happy to be associated in this wonderful interaction that we are going to have in the next few minutes' time.
Sir, I have a very interesting set of questions that I hope you can also answer for us and enlighten us. Starting with, what are some of the steps construction companies in India should take so that the adoption of green initiatives increases?
There are many things that are happening around, especially in the last 22 years, ever since IGBC has already come into being in the green building area. One is at the level of the developers as well as real estate developers and builders. The other one is a construction company. I want to have a little differentiation company. A construction company is an entity which actually executes the work, whereas builders and developers are there. They can also be doing construction. So initiative has to come from the promoter of that particular project, namely either a developer or a builder or a corporate or any organization which wants to take up the construction of that. The next one is the one going to execute that particular project, which are the construction companies. Even there, the green building attributes will come the way they execute the particular project. A lot of interesting initiatives are there. For example, biggest apex bodies are Confederation of Real Estate Developers Association of India, or we call CREDAI, and the other body is called the National Real Estate Development Council, or NAREDCO. Among the builders, the body is called the Builders Association of India. The Indian Green Building Council has already have tie-up with all the three major organizations to see how the green construction can be put in all their projects in a large way. Large number of their buildings and projects also embrace the green building rating. And how do they deal with that? And that is what phenomenally good results. If we have around, on date, around nearly 8,000 projects all over the country in the last 22 years with about 8 billion square feet, that means 800 crore square feet of green footprint, you should be happy to know that more than 75% of them are through the builders, developers, and construction companies. So that's already going, but they find real good value. The builders and developers are able to see good value, not only for themselves, but also to all their clients and customers who take with the housing, and also the people to whom they give the space for rent in terms of commercial complex, because the capital cost and the energy cost are substantially getting reduced. Water consumption is getting reduced, waste management efficiency is coming. So it's not only the capital cost, but more important, the operating cost of the building also coming down substantially. Therefore, there is a win-win proposition. Going green is a wonderful business opportunity to everybody concerned in the area of buildings and the built environment. Built environment cover series of building and the infrastructure at the neighborhood level, as well as the sector level, even up to taking up to city level.
Okay, thank you, sir. Can you let us know what you think about the role of technology in building modern buildings and megastructures?
Phenomenal. As a matter of fact, design and technology, as you rightly said, is the cornerstone. Unless you conceive that whole building right in the beginning itself, by the developer and the promoter, along with all the consultants, professional consultants associated with that. Who are all the professional consultants? The architects, the civil engineers, the structural engineers, the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, firefighting, MEPF consultants, landscape architect, all who are going to be associated in giving shape to that particular project has got to be associated right in the beginning with promoter himself giving that particular link that I want to make this particular thing a sustainable development project. I want to say, and therefore, please bring the best possible option. And therefore, all the people dealing with the designing, detailing, and construction of the particular thing has got to be involved in that. And all the principles have got to be brought into this particular design issues and the technology to be utilized, be it on the walling or the roofing or the plumbing or the energy related issue. And that's where I said the MEP people also will come in a very large way. And therefore, design and technology becomes very important. The nature of building materials that we use, important role the architects can play in the passive design of the building, the orientation of the building, depending upon the location of the site. And then for different geoclimatological zone, India has about 6 geoclimatological zones there, hot, humid, hot, arid, cold, all those things, coastal areas. We got to deal with all that. And that'll all come only in the design, and the right level of technology is required to deal on the structural, non-structural, finishes, and the services required for the building internally and externally will play a very, very important role. And that's why with a sense of pride, I can tell that with, as I said, nearly 8 billion square feet of green footprint for all our asset class of building. And we deal with all classes of building, namely buildings on the residential, on the commercial, on the health center, hospitals, schools, campuses, factories, retail, what have you. You take any particular asset class of building, we cover that. And we also cover the built environment to cover the at the level of layout or neighborhoods or cities or townships or whatever, we cover all that. And even including mobility, all your metro stations, railway stations, all these things also, airports, all these are also covered under that. So here is a good canvas that we build. And in all those things, the right level of design, which can be architectural design, structural design, functional design, services design. So that word design is a very large word. And technology can be through building materials and technology of construction and all the technology required for all the services that go into the building and outside the on-site building and off-site infrastructure. The major issues will come. I'm sure as you go across, we'll be able to open out on that.
So what are some of the steps that construction companies should take to reduce the emissions?
I think it is the most important topic. All the 193 countries met in COP26 now. The world over, the whole discussion on the climate change agenda. The temperature increase cannot go beyond 1.5 degrees by 2050 because the amount of the heating of the whole globe, the type of problems that's coming along with that, the water level rising, series of issues on cyclones, the rains, or other calamities coming in a large way, flooding, etc. Therefore, a lot of initiatives are coming in this direction on that. And I think the whole idea is to, if you want to see the emissions to be brought in over the emission, can come through so many areas. And that particular thing has got to be taken care of, be it on water and wastewater, be it on all the waste, the solid waste and other related thing that's coming, the energy related component that will be utilized, where substantial amount of fossil fuel is utilized, which is contributing to the CO2 emission coming from the thermal energy that through the power stations that we have. Even the building materials, which is embodied energy, that also brings in, you'll be very surprised to know, the basic building materials, all dead dodo things coming in the building, they already have emitted at one point of time earlier before you started putting that over there. So it's a combination of the embodied energy and the operational energy issues. All of them are going to be addressed. Therefore, keeping all this in view, all the rating system, we said we already have 30 rating system. We got into the ahead of the curve quite early, and we brought in actually the issues regarding the net zero energy, net zero water, net zero waste, and net zero carbon. The idea is working towards that particular one. And therefore, since as part of the rating discipline already there, I'm sure the project proponent has got to really get into the project design, specifically covering all areas on water management, energy management, waste management, as well as the overall green environment. And lastly, the carbon footprint reduction will come.